welcome to the podcast. So excited. We have a 2-for-1 special on today's podcast episode. York County School Division in Virginia is doing some great things with social media and drones. And you're going to learn all about it today from Krystal Hurr and Samantha Beatley. Samantha is a senior there at Grafton High School, and she's going to tell her story of this project that they're working on with some other interns. Very excited for you to learn kind of what led to this, how they plan to use the footage and all of the content that they are gathering. It's not out yet, but it will be soon. And we're going to keep you posted. And so I'm very excited. If you're looking for ways to include students in your storytelling, today is a great episode to listen to. And before we get into this week's K-12 PR tip, you guys, 'tis this holiday season, gift giving may be on your horizon. Social Media for Schools. If you don't have a copy of the book that I released just a few years ago, grab a copy. This is a great thing to add to your wish list for others to maybe buy for you. But this is a 20-chapter book, takes you step by step, foundational pieces of running a solid social media storytelling system for a school district, specifically for K-12 schools. So you can grab that anywhere books are sold. You can check it out in the show notes. We've got a direct link. And then send that to the folks that need to do some buying for you or buy yourself a holiday gift. You won't regret it. All right, now let's get to this week's K-12 PR tip. All right, today's K-12 PR tip is courtesy of Cass Allen. Cass actually posted in a recent Facebook post within our K-12 school communicators group, which is free to join. We'll make sure you have a link to that Facebook group in the show notes. You can join that for free. But somebody had talked about being in Facebook jail, and Cass really wanted to make a point to make sure that every page that you are running on behalf of your school has at least 2 administrators. You guys, personal profiles can be hacked, they can be shut down, they can be suspended for who knows what reason. And if you only have one person as an admin on a Facebook page and they get suspended, you're going to lose access to that page. And it is near impossible, if not impossible, to get it back. So Cass begged me on this little post to say, Andrea, please remind everyone they should always have 2 admins. There's also a lot of science and a lot of strategy into just setting your pages up through Meta Business Portfolio. This is something I teach extensively on in my membership group, which is a paid group, but there are times where we get together with trainings for group. But also I do one-on-one trainings. And you guys, some of this might be priceless in regards to if you can get it set up the right way and have less stress about what if something happens to one of our school pages that we use all the time to communicate to our families. That's big trouble if we lose access. So 1, make sure you have 2 admins. 2, maybe you consider joining our membership group because we've got an incredible community there to help you out. Okay. That is this week's K-12 PR tip. Now let's get to this incredible interview with Krystal and Samantha. Welcome to the show. I have 2 superstars with me. Hi, Krystal and Sam.
Hi. Jinx.
I almost, Krystal, can't tell who the student is and who the educator or the communicator is. You 2 look equally young, which I love. And if you're not watching this on video, we made Krystal blush already. So welcome to the show. To kick things off, Krystal Hurr, why don't you share your background, your role as coordinator of digital media and design there at York County School Division in Virginia?
Yeah, so my background originally is like in theater, film, videography, photography. I graduated, obviously, when the pandemic happened. So I had to think about how I could use all these skill sets in a new way. And so the internet was the way to like keep businesses afloat and stay alive. So then I kind of became like a social media from a user to a creator. And from that, I've had various jobs making social media content, which then led me to my own backyard of York County. I have family from all across the peninsula, and I have this wonderful opportunity to be the media coordinator. So I like to say I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none. If it involves creating anything that goes online, whether that be graphics or a social media post, I am a part of a team that is involved in making that to share across the division.
Okay. And how long have you worked for the school, Krystal?
So I actually just hit my 1 year a few days
Okay.
ago, which is super exciting, especially as somebody who used to be like a contractor for social media, like hopping from contract to contract and also like, going from client to client versus like having something where I can make long-term projects and I can have a vision that I craft and create over time has been huge for me. So yeah.
That is incredible. And we met at the NSPRA conference, the seminar in Washington, D.C. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so that's awesome that you were able to invest and get there. Obviously, the travel wasn't too far for
It's right in our
from
backyard. Hop, skip, and a jump off the highway.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm so excited that you're here. First, and then I'm gonna kick it over to Samantha. Samantha Beatley. Why don't you introduce yourself, Samantha?
Well, I'm Samantha Beatley. I've grown up in York County and I'm a student at Crafton High School. And yeah.
What year are you?
Oh, I'm a senior right now.
Okay, so you are a senior, class of 2026. My daughter, my youngest daughter, is also a senior. So exciting time of life for you. And how do you work with Krystal and the communications team?
So I'm working on the drone project with Krystal. She is one of my bosses and she kind of we go to her with what our plans are for the day and then she'll approve it, disapprove it. If she has an idea of what we should capture, she'll tell us. If there's a certain event going on at a school that we don't know about and she knows about, she'll relay that information to us for us to go capture footage and media.
Okay. And so you've got kind of a special drone project. We're going to get into that a little bit. But is this for a class or is this just an extracurricular kind of activity that you guys took on? Can you share that, Sam?
For me, this is an extracurricular activity. For other interns, it's a class.
Okay.
For me, I'm doing a different program with my school. It's the early college program where I take virtual English and government in the fall semester, and then I attend our local community college as a full-time student in the spring. And during the fall, it's fully virtual, so my schedule is very flexible. So I'm able to come in during the day and capture stuff.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Well, I love it. Well, I'm going to learn a little bit more about that. But Krystal, can you just tell me a little bit more about York County School Division? How many students do you have? How many different schools?
All right, so York County spreads pretty far because we have some schools that are, so the Hampton Roads area is known as the Seven Cities. So that's Hampton, Newport News, Williamsburg, York County, and then there's also like the Richmond area. And so all of these cities are within like 20 to like 30 minutes of each other. So York County spreads from like as far as like the edge of like the Hampton city borderline also is passes by and touches Newport News and stretches even almost all the way up to Williamsburg. So across the vastness of York County, we have 10 elementary schools, we have 4 middle schools, and then we have 4 high schools as well as a specialty high school, which focuses more on like the technology sides of things and also has other special programs that can allow students to graduate at a faster rate if they do so choose. How many students we have, I should have pulled that data. I will be completely honest. Catherine, please be nice to me if you watch this later. But I mean, throughout all of the schools, I mean, it's just, I like to say that every single like zone has its own personality. and that every single school is like a piece of a painting, and that it kind of makes like this beautiful collage and mosaic. Because like you have the York zone, you have the Grafton zone, you have the Bruton zone, and then you have the Tab zone. And so all of those are the little like pieces that stretch out from like the Hampton, Newport News to Williamsburg area. And every single one of those represent like a little different gem inside of York County.
Okay.
And I am just very glad to be able to capture everything that like happens across all of it. As somebody who has family that's grown up in the Tab zone and somebody that has grown up like in like the Dare area, it's just it's very unique to be able to show all those different perspectives of the school and the community that is within them.
Yeah. So with that many schools and kind of that many areas, how does social media work? Do you have a social media page for the division? Do you have it for each of your schools? And are you helping manage that, or do you manage teams at the schools? Tell me
Yeah.
how that works.
So when I was brought in, there was like a really unique system set up. So who I help with and with telling stories is in tandem with the communications team is you have the York County School Division page. So that not only showcases important information, like we have a school countdown that like, reminds people like, hey, like, your classes are live. This is how you can reach your schedules down to like your bus schedules, and also reminding people, like how to upload money for like their lunches and things of that nature, down to, hey, this student won this scholarship that just happened like a few days ago. We want to spotlight that. Or it also is used for anything important down to like weather closings. And then on top of that, all of the schools have their own page as well. So all of the elementary schools, all the middle schools, all of the high schools. And so what we have is a liaison program where people in the schools assist us with like, being able to tell the stories on social media. I just got done going to a bunch of the schools and meeting with the principals, and some of them included their liaisons talking about different stories that we want to spotlight and highlight this year, rather that be milestones or maybe a new club or tradition that's starting at a school. So I'm constantly like looking at calendars and the newsletters that the schools post, and communicating with them to make sure that like we're spotlighting across the division. I like to say that I'm juggling cats while herding chickens. Sometimes it feels like that. But when in doubt, that is kind of the system that was set up, and it works very well to make sure that, between the three of us, we're not overwhelmed with trying to cover all of the schools. The people who help with the calendar, the newsletter, the principals, the administrators, and the liaisons, they do a fantastic job of working alongside us to make sure that everybody not only gets the information they need, but gets to see the amazing things that are happening inside of the schools.
Okay. And so for the York Division school page, is that a Facebook page only, or what channels do you run for the division?
We have Facebook, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn, because obviously if we have any openings like that is where they would be announced and encouraged. We also share our wins there. So obviously we went to NASPRA, or NSPRA, sorry.
Yeah.
We got an award in recognition. Any big events like trainings, or if we have like the retirement ceremony, or the awards that we have for like teacher of the year, we would also share things like that on there. So it's not just like for job postings. We like to
Okay.
use that to lift up amazing things that are happening throughout the division.
Okay. And then at the school levels, what
Mhm.
pages do they usually run?
So that would be like, so for instance, for like the Tab zone, you have Tab Elementary School, and you have Tab Middle School and Tab High School. Those three different schools will have all of their each individual Facebook pages. So that means every
Okay.
single elementary school, from our York Elementary School, which is a STEM magnet school, all the way to Walter Mill Elementary School, which is a fine arts magnet school, including the schools that are within zones, all have their own independent pages in which they run.
Okay.
So it's It's a lot. But again, we have that really good system set up that allows us to be able to make sure that everybody, one, gets the information they need from like the York County page, and two, can also see what is going on within each school individually.
Awesome. So, Sam is a part of a program involving students. So, can you tell me a little bit about the program itself? I don't know whether you want to start, Krystal, or whether you want to share, Sam. But whoever wants to go first.
Well, if you share, Sam, about like how, you guys were like, because I know that you guys were approached or selected by a teacher, correct? And then that's when Catherine got a hold of you all, and then you met the team. But if you want to talk about it a little bit from your perspective.
Like how we got to where we are now.
Yeah, because I mean, I was showing your video, and then Catherine was like, "Yeah, so we're gonna have interns working with us," and I was like, "Oh," and she's like, "And they made the video you just watched," and I was like, "Fantastic! When did they start?" And then I got to meet them, and so now we're here.
So
Okay.
me and my peers were at a we have New Horizons, which is like a trade technical school that isn't with the county, but county students are able to attend it. And we were in the unmanned aircraft systems program, so we got our drone license. We learned about drone videography and photography, and I was in that class. And then I went to an event for my sister. It was like an award ceremony for her, and the superintendent and Miss Goff were there, and they approached me and were like, "Oh, so you're her sister. What do you do?" And I showed them the video and like, "I'm a drone pilot. This is what I do." Like, just and she was like, "Oh my gosh, we've been wanting drone pilots and being able to make this video for these types of videos for a while." So after that, I was like, "Well, I have some friends that are also good drone pilots, so they should come too," and was able to get us all an internship with them.
Awesome. So some of them are getting maybe credit for the class. You're not because of your unique situation, Samantha, but um and then I'm assuming it's not a paid position, but you're partnering with the department and obviously getting a lot of experience. Is that correct?
It is a paid position,
It
and
is.
we are paid interns.
Okay, paid interns. I love it.
Third
Um,
County, and
Yeah, and the program that my peers are in, they're in like the career mentorship internship class with Grafton High School. And basically they are getting school credit and they have to meet a certain amount of hours. So it's like 200 somewhat hours for the entire year. And they have to do a project, they have to do journals, like weekly reports of what they're accomplishing with their internship. That's how their situation is.
okay. And Krystal, how are you training these individuals? It sounds like maybe there's a class. So is that instructor more in charge of that, or are you the instructor?
so they already have their license. I've actually learned a lot about drones through them, and they have inspired me to want to get my license. I essentially got to watch them as we were in a school one day. We were kind of getting an idea of where we wanted to get some like different like shots at, and we were like, okay, so if this auditorium was full of people, like how do we do that? Like where do we want to go next? And I immediately like saw everything they were able to do with the drones, and I was like, I want one. So I'm honestly there just to assist in the creative process, and like Sam said, to communicate what's going on. So like for instance, I joke that everything happens on Thursday, and I was like, okay, so there's this event happening on Thursday, and this event, and this event, and this event, and this event. I need to be at these two. Can you guys go to this pep rally? We would love to get like, some footage of people like, getting excited for homecoming, interacting, all the different stuff that's going on with the game. And so they go off. And then Catherine and Jason and I will go through the footage with them. And we essentially are encouraging them and helping them with like different creative ideas. When this video project is done, there are some pictures I've taken last year and this year, or some other video footage that might be grabbed, but all of the work is being done by them. We are here to support them and encourage them in this project, which is also inspiring me and reminding me why I love to do what I do. And I've gotten to teach them some things about the camera that I use But everything with the drones and the video and the vision, they are doing. I'm essentially telling them when, where, and what is going on. And we kind of tackle it together to make sure that we're covering stuff that's happening across the division.
Okay. So the project isn't done yet. You guys are filming it. I heard before that maybe you hope to release it in January. I'm curious as to how is this going to come together? It seems to me, if it's one project, that it's going to have a lot of events because you talked about like one day might have 5 events at it. So can you maybe, Samantha, describe the scope of the project and what you guys plan to be able to share?
So our goal is to make like a promotional video for each school.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a promotional video. Our goal is we're a very military dense area. We have 3 military bases like within every like Navy, Air Force, Army. So we have a lot of military individuals within our school division. And these videos are eventually going to get published to the website and they will be there for new students that are coming in. So if I was a new student coming to say Grafton High School, I could click the Grafton video and it would show just kind of what the school is like. It's some of the classroom spaces, the library, cafeteria, gym spaces, like pep rallies, like school spirit, some of the football events, like sports events that students go to, and just show that this is like a fun environment and that students have just an idea of what they're walking into. Because I was a military student and I moved a lot, and I was very scared sometimes to go into school because I didn't know anyone. I didn't know what the building looked like because most of the time I would miss open house because we got there mid-year or left mid-year. So it was just like being able to do this, just I feel like it will be beneficial to the division and to new students.
I had no idea. This makes me so happy because it really comes out of a need that you saw, Samantha, right? Like, and I'm sure, I mean, maybe it was a collaborative effort, but you experienced this. Military families often move around a lot, so you're having to get acquainted and get into a new school. And so you saw an opportunity, hey, we can actually just give this great feel of what this school is all about, no matter when you come to the school. So is the goal, I mean, I heard you say 10 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, 4 high schools. So is the goal to end up having those 18 different videos and maybe one for your specialty high school? Is that really what you're going to end up having?
So the goal is to have it's hopefully going to be 19 videos, roughly a minute long.
Okay.
Maybe less, probably no more than a minute because that's when you lose people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So, but you're capturing a lot of what's happening, not just a certain time of year, but you've been able to start. Did you guys start at the beginning of this 25-26 school year? Oh,
And we've been doing all different types of events from volleyball games to football games to just going into people's classrooms like, oh hey, we're from the school board. Can we just like take a video of your classroom? They don't have to do anything special. We just want you doing exactly what you're doing. Like especially the little elementary schoolers, they'll be like doing the coloring with their crayons and all that. And it's the elementary school videos I feel like are gonna be more for the parents to see that what the kids do at school. So if I don't know, they're sending their kindergartner into school for the first time, they have a good idea of what the school environment's like.
yeah, that's incredible. What has been your favorite part, I guess, so far about working on this project, Samantha?
I just enjoy knowing that there's gonna have to be a purpose with this. Like this is something that's gonna be helpful, and even though it's long and there's so much to get done, it eventually hopefully will look great and just be something that they can use for a while. That once we're gone, because unless the school gets demolished, it should look the same.
Yeah, yeah.
I say caution because Grafton has caught on fire 3 times.
Yeah, I was about to say, please don't jinx us. Like,
Yes, definitely not. Well, I love that. And I guess I'm curious when you go into classrooms, are you also doing drone footage then, or is that more just video with a phone or a GoPro or a different type of camera?
So in the classroom, since there's such small spaces and our drone is like this, it's probably like this big, and it's just flying that around kids is not a good idea. So we use our phones, and we have like a gimbal thing that we use, and we'll just get like little clips here and there. We'll use the drones in the higher ceiling areas, so maybe the cafeteria, the gym, sometimes our libraries have like high ceilings, and it just gives a different angle that you wouldn't get with a phone.
Okay. And Crystal, I know the end product is going to be this big project. Have you been able to utilize any of the other items that they've pulled together to share stories throughout, like this fall, or is all of their content just being saved for their big project?
So most of the content so far has been used in Save for the Big Project, but they actually started like a little bit like right towards the very tail end of summer, started the school year, and we actually had a training that involved a lot of people like throughout not only the division but in the schools. And I was able to take a picture that they took, that they had the camera of the drone like hovering nearby taking a picture of all the people. It was like like an inception moment kind of. But I just loved it. And I was like, we have to use this picture. Like this picture is so good. And I was like, just make sure that when we share this, like people know that like this picture is taken like by one of the student interns. And I try to take time to go through like some of the photos that they take because they've gotten some really good pictures of like students where like they're either coloring or they're very in the element. Because when I come in, usually I have my really big camera. And then of course people are turning to me like, oh, like, who are you walking into like the classroom? And usually as soon as they see me, they all like want to ask questions, which I love, but then it's really hard to get them to like act like natural and or not pose for a picture. So I feel like with you guys, they almost are a little more like relaxed versus like me
Yeah.
coming in with like this giant bug-eyed like object. So I've definitely been saving some of their pictures to like use in upcoming posts. And also I'm just really excited for these videos when they finish them for us to be able to use on the website. As we have been like, looking for pictures to update throughout all the different like school websites that we have. It'd be really great to have this video there so they can get like a little movie trailer of that personality of that school and see it. And for at the end, for people to know, like, hey, this was made by students who went here, who have graduated, who had their drone license. Like, these are the things that we are proud of. And we're proud to say that we have students who are future ready, graduate ready, and are already kind of leaving their own mark and their own legacy at schools.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see this. All I'm thinking in the back of my mind, just kind of with a little bit of the behind the scenes, almost like you said when you saw the drone. And I'm sure you guys are thinking about this, Sam, you and your team, but I'm thinking of the behind the scenes of all this work that has been going in and having that help tease to some of your release dates of to say, hey, because the end product is going to be great, but it's all of this stuff that you're learning along the way. How to go into a classroom, Samantha, right? And how once you have all of this footage and all of these pictures, how are you going to get it down to that 1 minute mark? I mean, those are just such valuable skills. Samantha, do you have any idea what you'd like to pursue after high school?
Yes. So I'm a student pilot right now, so I'm getting my like private pilot's license for manned aircraft as well. So that is something that I want to continue after high school is getting the rest of my ratings in order to become maybe like a certified flight instructor. But I also am going to go probably to Christopher Newport University locally and do electrical engineering and focus on autonomy in drones because they do a lot of their research with unmanned systems and drones and like robots on the ground. and they're building this new facility that's going to have like a two-story drone building. And I've made so many connections here locally, drone people, that I feel I need to pursue and continue with.
It just feel I've never operated a drone. I mean, I've seen them around, but it's almost like you get to play a video game for a real job. Like that's amazing. I'm so excited for you, Sam.
There are, oh, it's like a video game until you realize how many rules and regulations you have to
Yeah.
follow. Flying at football games is hard because you're not allowed to fly over people.
Okay.
But what counts as flying over people is subjective because it's not in the rules anywhere. It's like don't fly over people. Okay, what if they walk under the drone?
Right.
So there's things like that, but we're very mindful with the rules, and we will not. If there's something that is going to put someone else in danger, we just won't fly. We'll be like, okay, we're done, and we'll do something different
Okay.
because that's the big thing is safety.
Yeah. Oh, I just feel like it's the cutting edge. I mean, you talk about AI and then you talk about the use of drones. It's a big need. And so I'm so excited that you got started already in high school, that you're going to put it to work for, school storytelling and to help other students and other families. It's so neat. And that's why Krystal wanted to be on this podcast when we talk, Krystal, right? Because you're like, this is really
So
cool.
I was like, you have to hear what these interns are doing. I was like, you have to meet because I'm excited that she's going to Christopher Newport because I'm a captain. So I was like, so have you visited Christopher Newport yet? Their program's pretty top notch. So yeah, I'm so proud of all of them and getting to watch them just work and as they like split up into like teams, like they figure out like how like they can be effective and watching them like go through the footage and like pull apart and like slowly put the story together as somebody who is like an editor themselves, not only watching them get to like play around and have fun with it, but also to have moments where I can be like, do you want to see a really cool trick that took me forever to figure out that I want to teach you in 5 minutes? And getting to see like their excitement for it as somebody who's always been very passionate specifically about telling stories. And also just to be inspired because I originally was like, I don't know if I want to go into like drone photography or videography. Barely 10 minutes into watching them work with these drones and seeing what they were able to capture and do, I was like, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind. So like they've just inspired me to continue to want to learn more, not only about like photography and videography, but learn about like drones and look into that. So hopefully one day I'll get my license. We're looking into that already, and I'm just excited and very inspired and reminded why I fell in love with the medium that is like media in the first place, getting to see them like go throughout this project and create it and learn as they're doing so.
Does the school have drones or is this your personal drone, Samantha?
So we started out our schools, two of our schools have a drone program, which is more the program I did was at what's called New Horizons, and it was 6 college classes within a year. And the ones that are offered within York County are a little bit lower key. It's 2 classes within the year, one a semester, and they get their Part 107 from it, their drone license, and they have their own drones. They have a lower grade drone than what we're using now, but when we first started this project, we were using theirs before we convinced them to buy us a drone. And
Yeah.
and then we bought a drone for the school board office, and that is what we use.
Okay.
And one of the other interns, we have 2 drones that we use. One is the school board's, and then the other one is his personal one. And he does use that a lot, which is helpful when we split up and do 2 pairs because each is able to have a drone.
Okay.
And they helped us pick it out because we're like, look, you guys are the experts. Like, you kind of tell us what would be the best, not only for like this project, but for what it is like that you're looking for and like being essentially a very versatile like filming object. And so they took the time to be like, hey, like here are a few different options. Like this is what we think is best. So they were super helpful and a part of that because they were able to teach us like kind of an idea of what to look for. So they also get credit for the drone because they were the ones that were like, oh, this one's really good. And we're like, okay, great. I have learned so much.
So I'd love to get, are you able to share a link with me of what drone you ended up getting for the board office? That would be
It,
great.
hopefully it's still there. It is a
Okay.
DJI drone, and I'm pretty sure those are now banned in the US importing just because of the government right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's
Well,
a China.
we'll do what we can, listeners, if we can give you some direction of what they ended up choosing. And then Samantha, the inspiration for the project that you're working on, you had some video that kind of drew the attention of, hey, we've got these skills. You said we could get a copy of that. We'll put that in the show notes as well for people to look at.
Yeah, and I know what drone it is. I can like verbally say it if
Oh yeah,
that's
what drone is it?
DJI Air 3S. And it's, yeah.
Okay. All right. That helps.
And then we're
Yeah,
starting the DJI Mini Pro,
okay.
Mini 3.
Okay. Um, and then we'll link that video of what was inspiring you. This is going to come out early December. Hopefully these videos will start releasing in January, you're thinking. And so you guys are going to have to come back to the pages for York County School Division and take a look at the videos when they're complete. We like to wrap up. We really appreciate your time. Krystal, we like to wrap up with what is your best social media tip? What would you say is your best social media tip for schools?
Gosh, that's a great question. A lot of times what I have found out when I started here is sometimes you forget what would make a really unique and good story because you're like, oh, this is something we've always done or we've always participated in. So for instance, one of the schools had a really unique event when I first started, and I didn't see anything about it until after it had happened. And so I reached out and I was like, hi, like, why didn't you tell me about this? And they're like, oh, well, this is something we've always done. It's something we do. And I'm like, yes, but this is a unique story because I think about all of my friends who grew up who are military, who are new to the area. And I'm thinking about, somebody who's coming in sees that, at this elementary school has like a dance-a-thon and another has like a walk-a-thon. And they do this to like raise money. And it's just a really fun and unique thing that happens like here that we do. And if I was either like someone in elementary, like nervous about, like she said, like coming into a new place, seeing a video of a bunch of other kids that are just like me getting to like dance and have fun and make a difference and make an impact. And like that's just one small story. So I always tell people to take yourself out of your shoes and like put yourself somewhere else or like imagine like you are new to that state, you're new to that county, you don't even know where to find the McDonald's yet. Like, really put yourself in that new perspective and think, what does make you you? What does make you unique, rather that be a school or a location or a tradition, but just don't forget to kind of remove yourself and be like, is this something that's special that we've just seen as everyday and seen as mundane? So just taking that time to like step back and put yourself into the perspective of like a new family that is moving into the area is a huge tip because there have been a lot of things that have inspired me to be created into a story that I hope if a new family is coming to the area will make them want, to look at York County School Division as a place, to send their kid to school.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Krystal, we're gonna leave your email address in the show notes. So if people want to reach out, also make sure to hit a follow on their social media channels. Thank you both for hanging out with us today on the podcast.
And I'll have to let you know when it's all said and done for the big finale.
Yes, yeah,
well, it's all finished up. So,
Yes, we'll make sure to let our listeners know that they should head on over and take a look. Good luck with the rest of the project and enjoy the rest of your fall. School year's going fast,
I
Samantha.
know.
Pretty soon it'll be done. So, but thanks for being on our podcast today.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
You said
thank you guys, and thanks for listening. We will see you back here next week with another great guest. Until then, keep telling those stories. Bye bye.